It's the Bennie Randall Show. It's the Bennie Randall Show. It's the Bennie Randall Show. It's the Bennie Randall Show.
Welcome to another edition of the Bennie Randall Show. I'm your host, Bennie Randall Jr., a.k.a. The Motivator. And this powerful show brings you conversations with today's stars and tomorrow's legends. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Come on.
It's the Bennie Randall Show. 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 I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall Show. Yeah. I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall. I love the Bennie Randall Show. Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Bennie Randall Show. I'm your host, Bennie Randall Jr., a.k.a. The Motivator, a.k.a. Global Entrepreneur, and your friend. And like always, I'm humbled by you allowing me into your hearts and your homes. You can learn more about us at vanoy.com. You can watch full episodes of this show and other Bennie Randall shows at youtube.com Vanoy Media. Oh man, I'm so excited about this show right here. It's going to be simply amazing. Okay. We have another extraordinary guest. Her name is Melanie Krystle. She's a chemical engineer, speaker, and entrepreneur who is passionate about helping people of all ages reimagine the business of STEM. She can help you get excited about pursuing a STEM career field. She is a native of New Orleans, Louisiana. She attended college at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where she earned her bachelor's degree in chemical engineering with a business minor in manufacturing management. While at Carnegie Mellon, Melanie was inducted into the Andrew Carnegie Society for her academic and extracurricular excellence. She went on to receive her master's degree in chemical engineering from Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge. During her time at LSU, she completed her master thesis on environmental remediation project titled An In-Stew Cap and Design for Remediation of Petroleum Contaminated Sediment. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to just be very clear with you. I know I chopped that up wrong. So we're going to let her come in here and repeat exactly what that was because, man, all these big words, I don't even know what to say, when it comes to that. But I'll just bring you right up in here. I'm telling you, she is an amazing person. And we're going to be talking about real estate, but let's bring her in. Hello, Melanie. How are you?
Hey, how are you doing, Benny? I'm so happy to be on your show.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling that to have you here. And before we begin, let's go back to what the name of that situation was in your bio, because I know I chopped it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was my master's thesis, that environmental remediation project that I worked on in-situ capping contaminated petroleum
Okay,
sediment. So
okay,
that's what
okay.
that was
See, she
all
can't even say it herself, ladies and
about.
gentlemen. So
In-situ capping.
I'm good with that. uh, well, what what we're going to be talking about today, Melody has stepped in the realm of real estate and teaching people real estate and doing real estate on her own. And we're going to talk about a lot of things that she's done doing and what the future looks like. Let's begin, Melanie. What got you interested in real estate?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I enjoyed just looking at houses, touring them with my parents. And so I always liked real estate just in general, looking at HGTV, that's more around decorating, but real estate. So all of that interests me. But what I really like about real estate is the fact that you can invest in real estate and build wealth. generational wealth from real estate. So once I learned about that, the first book I read on that was Rich Dad Poor Dad. Then it was, yeah, I hit the ground running. I wanted to jump into being a real estate investor so that I could start to build wealth and investments for myself and then for my family. And now I'm at a point where I've done it for long enough, over 15 years, that now I'm helping others invest in real estate and learn how to get into investing in real estate.
Very, very powerful. And in the interest of full disclosure, I do advise Melody on real estate and have been working with her the last 2 years in her real estate portfolio. And she has done an amazing, amazing transformation in a short period of time. So let me ask you this, Melody. What is some of the things you learned that you didn't know
Mhm.
when it comes to real estate now that you'll be able to pass on to other people?
Right. Well, some of the things that I didn't know, I guess just jumping into the real estate investing game. And keep in mind, there's a difference. There are different aspects of real estate that you can be a part of. You can be an investor. You don't need any degrees for that. You can be a realtor, of course. Many people are familiar with realtors. You can, invest in like REITs and kind of more from afar where you're not as hands on. So there's so many realms. So that's probably number one for me, is the fact that I could just get into real estate investing without any special degrees. Even though I have a chemical engineering degree, you do not need to be a chemical engineer to get into real estate.
Oh,
And
that's good to know.
so the fact that you can get into it, learn about it, and start making money and building wealth is probably my number one. And then I'd say my second thing is getting a good coach, getting people to help you learn can speed up your ability to get real estate investments and actually start building wealth. So that'd probably be my top two. Now, there's a lot of details and ins and outs in purchasing and getting real estate investment properties, but those would be my top two to get you started. That you don't need anything special to get started, and two, you get a good coach and you hit the ground running.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Melody, so I think what a lot of people get confused sometimes when they want to step into real estate, they
Hmm.
believe they have to have a whole lot of money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Before they can even begin to think about an investment property or investing, in any aspects. Is there other areas of real estate that people can get into that allow them, to have it as an investment and still make some revenue on it, the property?
Yeah, so you hit something, a nail on the head with the thought that many people have, including me when I got my first investment properties, that you have to have a whole lot of money to get one. You really don't. Some people can start just using their tax return refund. If you're looking to get like a rental property, that's what I started in, is getting rental properties. I got a 4 unit fourplex. I did that with about $2,500.
Mm,
And I was a part of a first time home buyers program. So you can get into the real estate game with little money, you know. So there's options. That's an option. If you check out my Instagram, Melanie Krystle is my handle. Also TikTok, Melanie Krystle, and you can find me on LinkedIn, Melanie Krystle. But I do have a ebook that talks about low and no down payment loans to give you some ideas and options and ways that you can get into real estate if you have little, money to start off with. And then, of course, there's options like friends and family. But when you think about real estate, a lot of people think about buying a house or buying a property. You can also rent something as well and rent out that space. So that's another option, more of a low cost option. So they're out there. There are ways to get in the game without a lot of money.
I love that. I love that. And since you transitioned to it, let us go on to that. Let's give them maybe one or two tips about no money or lo-fi type of
Mhm.
loans, getting yourself started in that
Mhm.
aspect for our listeners.
Yes. So I mentioned one of them. If you're a first time home buyer, and first time home buyer means that you haven't owned a property within 3 years, the past 3 years. So if you owned a property 10 years ago, sold it, don't have any more properties, you can still be considered a first time home buyer. So that's one way that you can talk to a lender and they can advise you on programs for first time home buyers. But there's also ways to get low down payment loans, such as if you're in a rural area, there's different programs that you can look up and participate in and find out about. And once again, I have an ebook. If you go to one of my handles at Melanie Krystle and click on my stand store, you can check out my ebook with some more information. But rural areas, many cities and states also have programs to help spur real estate investment so you can get low and no down payment loans. And then the third thing that I'll mention is that there are options where you can, if the landlord that you're renting from allows you to rent space. So if you could get a commercial space that you can rent out for events and parties. That's a third option where all you have to do, you don't have to have down payment, you don't have to buy anything. Um, that's an option there. There are some places too where you can do the same thing with an Airbnb, where you can rent space and then you can lease it out to others. So you have to find out the local rules for the space that you're getting, but you can get into real estate without a lot of money. There are options for you. And then on the end, there are many people who have 401ks. They have money just sitting and they're relying on the stock market to help it grow, but you don't have a lot of control over that. You can take and move that money. There are ways to move that so that you can invest it in real estate as well. And I do talk about that in my coaching program.
I love it. I love it. You know what makes me very proud when you see a client that really understand the schematics of what has to happen, to build that. And I love that you say what one thing you said what was very important, and I've taught you and many others is that being able to use money that you already got as your investment plan. It ain't always, the family friend. You can take money that you have and make it work for you. You understand? Instead of sitting in somebody's fund where they're going to make money long as it's just sitting there. Tell tell the listeners, what did you learn about controlling your money and using your money to increase your own portfolio?
Yeah, Benny. Many of us who, especially those who've been working for years, I've worked for many, many years. We have money saved away. We have money in retirement funds. So all that money is sitting there, waiting for us to retire, get to 59 and a half or whatever age it is that you have to be to take it out without any penalties. But if you can tap into that money now and start growing that money now, it'll do a lot more for you by the time you get to retirement. And guess what? You can actually start enjoying some of the passive income that you can get from that money right now. So that's what I learned is that money, stagnant money, does not really help you. It doesn't grow as quickly as if you are able to invest it in something. Real estate is a great way to help it grow and you gain passive income. So you can make money while you sleep.
So let's say that now. Recently, you just did a real estate seminar where you've been helping ladies to understand the power of real estate in layman terms. What have you learned in those people that are attending your class? What have you learned that some of the problems that they're having, and it's probably same problems many other people are having.
Yeah.
What has been your take on that without giving them so much because they really need to come to your class to be honest to really get the nitty gritty. But
Right.
let's give them a sample sale here. How about that?
I can do that, Vinny. So I have held a master class. It's a women's real estate master class where I talk to women about real estate investing. And I'll have my next one coming up at the end of March. So go to my social media and you'll see it and you can sign up. Virtual class. So in the class, I talk about how ladies can, who are interested in real estate and possibly touching their toe in the water in real estate, how they can acquire an asset, how they can find an asset, how they can analyze the asset to see if it will help them make passive income, and also how they can use make the most of the money that they have to get the asset. So we touch all of those topics during that master class. so that you can see that you can actually build a real estate portfolio. And many people have a home and have some real estate already that may have been passed down from them. And that's what I've learned from the women that I currently coach. And so it's also a way to help you best utilize that so that you can make passive income. That's the one of the goals of real estate, building wealth. But then also, if you do it right, you're going to have passive income to help you make money while you sleep. And long term, when I had the class, ladies talk about wanting financial freedom, wanting the time to be able to do the things that they love, spend time with their families, work on hobbies that they love. Guess what? When you have an investment that doesn't take up as much time as your 40-hour-a-week job, then you can have more free time to do the things that you love, spend time with your family. And I say ultimately, that's what the ladies that I talk to are looking for: more freedom to live the life that they would love to have and enjoy.
See, that's the thing people don't realize. Freedom is the word. Money is really not the
Mhm.
word. Freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it, how much
Right.
of it you want to do. Ladies and gentlemen,
Exactly.
you're listening to the Benny Randall Show. I'm your host, Benny Randall Jr., aka Global Entrepreneur and Business Advisor. And guess what? Your friend. And we've got Melanie Krystle right here talking about real estate and how she's helping women. And we'll be right back after this short break from the people who make this show possible. And that's Vanoy Magazine. So, a word from our sponsor. Right back. Thank you for joining us, the Benny Randall Show. And if it wasn't for those sponsors like Vanoy Magazine, make sure you go get your copy of Vanoy Magazine at vanoymag.com. And Bashani Radio, make sure you check out all the powerful podcasts over there at bashaniradio.com. Like I said, we're speaking to Melanie Krystle. She is a real estate investor and advisor to helping other women really get their real estate portfolio in order. And that's what's so important. So, Melody, the question is, people always look at real estate as like a man thing because a lot of times people see a lot of men dominating in this space. But I think what you're showing people is that women could don't have to just be a salesperson because you're not out here selling real estate. You're out here acquiring real estate, which takes you to the top of the eating pole, as they say, that destination. Um, let's talk let's talk about some of the obstacles you may have experienced after acquiring a property because people think the work stops. You just get it, you got a building, you charge people rent, and voila. Can we talk about some of those things that, little things that's going to happen that you got to be prepared for it? And how did you handle those things?
Yeah, Benny. I talk about that in my master class and also with the ladies that I coach. We talk about being a women real estate investor. And as you mentioned, there are less than those than I wish there would be. There are women real estate investors out there, but we definitely want more. And there are certain challenges that come along with being a female real estate investor and a female in real estate in general. And so some of those things are just as simple as, if you're having a construction job or you need a job done at your property, and a guy comes up looking for another man to talk to, and you're like, hey, I'm the one who was here, I own the property, talk to me. And so just gaining that respect. And it can be done. It can be done. And I've done it. Many ladies have done it. So we talk about how to just navigate those things during my master class and in the coaching. And as far as being a woman in real estate, I mean, honestly, a woman can do whatever a man can do in real estate. You can purchase properties, make money, have passive income, get work done on the properties. So, really, in that essence, it's not different. It doesn't have to be different. But, we do live in what some people may call a man's world at times. And it's just not that way all the time. But it can cause a few extra challenges for women, but we touch on those and talk through those, and it's nothing that can't be overcome.
I love that. She said we can do it too, and you're right. You say that thing, Melody.
Yes,
And
yes,
also in this journey of real estate, you also have written a book talking about reimagine success. Can you let our listeners know a little bit about this, and do you have a copy near that you can show our listeners?
yes. So I have this book right here, Melanie Krystle, Reimagine Success. This is the cover. You can get my book off of my stand store or on my website, melaniekrystle.com. It's also in other local retailers like Amazon online. So this book here really talks about reimagining success for your life. And I talk about my personal story as growing up from a kid into a young adult, and how I got interested in STEM. Some of the things that I talk about are my family and some of the lessons that I learned. But one of the things that I can take from this book, and then just from life in general, is that we all are at a different journey and different space, no matter your age, where you can reimagine success for your life. You can reimagine and think about doing something differently in your life to help you grow, move forward, reach your goals and dreams. And for me, real estate was a part of that journey as I got older, wanting to build wealth, as I mentioned, get passive income. Real estate was part of me reimagining success for my life. So I'm thankful that I was open-minded enough to do that, and check out my book as well that can get spur your thoughts on how to reimagine success for your life and your family as well.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. And seeing that you are teaching women, you really could teach anybody, but you've been focusing on helping women. How important it is for those people attending your master class to at least just be open to the information and be open to learning something, no matter what your age is, because I I totally believe that we never stop learning. All right.
I agree.
We always learning from, experiences, advisors. We're always learning. And sometimes the unorthodox ways of learning can be better than, the curriculum way of learning.
Mhm.
Uh, Speak to that about how at least they should be open, and, you're not going to give them a whole bunch of books and papers
Mhm.
to learn. You're going to give them hard evidence and experience on how they can increase their real estate portfolio. Can you talk to that, please?
Yeah, I can definitely talk to that. And especially from the fact that, I went through probably about 15, 16 years of formal education to get my bachelor's and master's degree in chemical engineering. So I know how formal education works. And formal education is great, wonderful. But there are aspects, and most people who attend formal education know that there are some things that just aren't taught in the classroom.
Mhm.
And one that's a very important one is just how money works and how to deal with money, manage money, build wealth. Those aspects really aren't taught when I'm looking at the periodic table or doing calculus and differential equations. So there's another type of learning that Benny is talking about where you learn about life skills, you learn through hands-on learning and real estate investing. There's a lot of book smarts you can gain from that, but it's nothing like learning and working with someone who's been there, done that, acquired buildings, acquired rental properties, acquired investments, and you can get all of those items that you can't find in a book from that person. Or you can, do it yourself and learn as well through the School of Hard Knocks too. But
It ain't nothing like having
getting
an
a coach,
advisor that can
yeah,
actually
getting a coach
call and
or an
pick up.
advisor can help you miss and surpass and pass up some of those pitfalls and hard knocks. You don't always want to learn that way. So yeah, so there's definitely different ways of learning, and in real estate, definitely a hands-on approach with an advisor is or coach is the way to go.
Mhm. And because what people don't realize, there may be books, but the one, some of the books may be outdated. But number two, when you
Mhm.
have a right now question, the book probably can't answer it. You need to speak to a human. So that's where advisor come the same way I instruct you, you instruct others. You see what I'm saying? And it's nothing like you being able to, let me call Melody and find out. I'm sitting up here looking at this place. What should I do with it? And they can reach you, depending on what program they're in, and you can be like, sure, you should not do this or you should not do that. There's something about having that contact and access that allow people to grow on a different level that you might not be able to get. You might can call your professor, but you can call your advisor. And her name is Melanie Krystle. Is that right?
Yes, that
I
is
love
so true.
I love every
So
bit about
true.
that. So what has been some of the things when it comes to real estate that make you smile?
Oh, that's a great question. So, one, it's also for me, it's fun. So for me, it's fun. Finding new properties, acquiring them. I have over $1 million portfolio now, so I've grown that portfolio, so that's been fun. There are parts of it that nothing is easy. Anything worth having is not easy, so it is definitely work to get there, but it's been fun along the way, in the journey along the way. And then also I just really love the fact that I get to have a property and properties that are building wealth and providing me with passive income. Like, I think that's my second favorite, my other favorites, other than it's fun. I get to build wealth, have passive income. And then now my third favorite is helping others, giving back, working with others and helping others so that they can do the same thing.
So I think a good transition to this. A lot of people are on. You see all over the internet, get an Airbnb, get an Airbnb. Can
Mhm.
you speak to the point of the difference between having a long term tenant, 1 to 2 years, versus
Mhm.
having an Airbnb? What are some of the slight differences? Because everybody wants to jump on the Airbnb bat
Mhm.
wagon, but they don't understand. There's a slight difference from putting a tenant in there for a year or two versus somebody who's going to be in there for 3 days and then somebody else for the next 3 days and somebody else for the next 3 days. There's some added and extra work and attention that's required. Can you speak to that?
Yes, so I have experience with both. I've had tenants, many, 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 many tenants in the Airbnbs. So I definitely have experience on both. So for if you're having a rental property and you want to put tenants in there, um, like Benny mentioned, typically you're doing at least a 1 year lease to get started, and then at some point you may go to month, but a 1 year lease, sometimes longer. So that tenant, once they get in that unit, they're taking a certain amount of ownership. They're not going to call you necessarily about every little thing, like the floor is dirty. They're going to sweep the floor. So, and the difference between that and an Airbnb is, one, Airbnb, of course, is a short term rental. So you're not entering into a contract with any of the guests who come. But the standard that they generally are looking for is usually exceptional because a lot of them are on vacation. So they want something comparable to a hotel where immaculately clean. If the floor is dirty and there's a scratch on it, or if there's a scratch or something on the floor, they will call you. So the owner has to take more time and attention often with the Airbnb person, whereas a tenant is going to take more ownership of their property or their rental, and they're going to handle a lot more items on their own. An Airbnb also includes more items, like, one, you have to have a cleaning service to make sure that the place is clean, the bed's made up. You're providing towels. You're not providing all of this for a tenant. You're not providing their towels. You don't have to provide their furniture. But in the Airbnb, you have to provide all that: furniture, towels. Sometimes people stock the kitchen, plates, everything. So you have to have a whole fully furnished, functioning unit for an Airbnb guest. Whereas a tenant, you're renting them an empty space. unless you decide you want to do a furnished apartment or something like that. So it'll take a little bit more capital to get into it, and then a lot more maintenance to maintain that exceptional quality that guests will expect at an Airbnb. So I would say for somebody starting out, if you are getting a rental, honestly, a tenant is easier than an Airbnb because of those reasons. So I would consider maybe starting with a tenant, and then if you're in a good market, you can move into an Airbnb.
I like to interject on something you said, just
Yeah.
to add a little value. And you said that when you're with a long-term client, you're entering an agreement. Well, you're entering a long-term agreement, whether that be 1 year, 2 year. But as a Airbnb, you are entering an agreement. It's just for a couple of days. You understand?
Yeah.
So you know, because they do have to follow your rules. They do
Right.
have to
That
do
is true.
certain things, right?
That is
And
true.
if you say no parties, they can't come in there and have a big party. So you are still entering an agreement. It's just a
Mhm.
short term agreement, whether it be 3 days, 4 days versus a year long tenant. So either way, you're going to enter
Mhm.
that agreement. It's just that at the level, like you said, you know, somebody's going to take something more personal when they're living there long term versus somebody who throwing a suitcase down and they're leaving tomorrow. So that makes a
Right.
lot of sense. I'm so glad you gave the people that clarity, in that aspect. Um, so when people come to your class, what can they
Mhm.
expect, Melanie?
So if you join my master class, you can expect a jam-packed 2 hours on getting started in real estate investing. For those who may already have a few properties, I give lots of tips on how to manage your properties as well. So it could be for someone who's an absolute beginner, or someone who has some properties, may have some real estate that they don't know what to do with. So that's probably the group of ladies that I'm targeting. And so when you get in there, like I said, we talk about how to acquire properties, how to get money for real estate, how to analyze real estate. Because I will give you one tip, is that you make your money when you buy. When you buy anything, that's when you make your money. You don't make your money after, because if you buy a dud or you buy something that's not cash flowing positively and it's in the red, you're doing that when you buy. So you have to know how to analyze. So we talk a lot about that, and then we talk about managing the property for sure, so that you can have it for long term.
I'm loving this conversation, man, and I love how you're talking in layman terms as you explain it. So, the people events. Now, when is your next master class, and
So my
how do
next
people
master
sign
class,
up, and what is the cost, et cetera, et cetera?
right. So my next master class is free. I do the master classes 2 hours for free on Saturday. It'll be Saturday, March 31st at 9 a.m. Central Time, from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time. And so if you're interested in signing up, like I said, you can go to my social media handles, Melanie Krystle at either Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and I'll have my stand store. When you click on that stand store link, you'll be able to sign up, click on the link to sign up for my master class. So I look forward to having you in my master class so that you can get into real estate investing.
Very, very powerful. And don't forget to go to melaniekrystle.com. That's with a Krystle, because you can spell crystal certain different ways. You know what I mean? So, we're getting down to our final question. Time goes so fast when you're having fun,
Right.
Melody. Oh my
It
goodness.
is.
I can go on and on. You know me, I love real estate. So I can just go on and talk and talk. Uh,
I'm
the,
here with you.
exactly, right. Getting down to the final question. A lot of times people learn something new
Mhm.
and they want to keep it to themselves. They're like, oh, this is mine. I'm not going to tell nobody because I want to be the one wealthy and I don't want nobody else to learn from it. What made you say, man, I've learned some different things now. I want to now help others win. What got you to that point?
Right.
Because, we've been I've been coaching you now for like 2 years, right? And you could have did some other things and kept it to yourself and just become a billionaire and go off on your flight with your family. And what made you decide that it was time to share and help other people?
Yeah, that's a great question, Benny. So, like I said, I've been involved in real estate investing for over 15 years. So, I've gained a lot of wisdom along the way. Um, Good lessons, hard lessons, the whole gamut. So, I've gained them all. And so now I'm at a phase where I really do want to give back, help other ladies. I'm gearing towards ladies. Of course, I can help men, help anyone, but helping ladies because there is so much wealth and to be gained in real estate investing. And I feel like many women, including myself, have counted ourselves out or don't feel like we're worthy, don't feel like we can do it, but we can. That's the thing. We can. And so I want to help other ladies know that they can do it, and with the help of a coach or an advisor, you can do it. You can do it successfully. You can do it more quickly, and you can make more money. So giving back for me is really a joy, a pleasure, and I love working with the ladies that I work with.
And my final question: what does the new year have in store for Melanie Krystle and her real estate empire?
Yes, so we're kind of getting past to the end of the first quarter of this year. And definitely towards the end of the year or later in the year, I'm looking to get another add to my portfolio. So I'll personally be adding to my own personal real estate portfolio. So I'm looking forward to doing that. But in addition to the master class, the coaching, I'm also going to be working on some other ebooks to include on my stand store and on my website so that I can share this information more broadly to people who don't attend my masterclass or who I'm not coaching, so that they can get some of the tips and insights that I have with regard to real estate. So that's my other plan. So I'll have some more ebooks for you guys.
Love it, Melanie. Your final words.
So my final words for you all are um, get in the game. Don't just sit on the sidelines and watch others, be successful. And you may be successful in your own right. And I'm sure many of you listening are very successful in so many ways. But even if you're successful, because I can consider what I've done, getting a chemical engineering degree, working as an engineer, that's success. But there's always a next level. There's always more to achieve. There's always more ways to grow and more people to help. And so that's what pushed me into getting into real estate investing. And so if you're interested in that, I'm here to help you, of course. And just don't be stagnant, continue to grow, and many, many blessings to all of you listening.
Thank you so much. I know you have a busy schedule, and I appreciate you taking out your valuable time to come on the Benny Randall Show, where we believe it's your business to know. And once again, where can people reach out to you, Melanie?
So you can go to my website, which is www.melaniekrystle.com. But also you can check me out on social media at Instagram. Melanie Krystle is my handle, TikTok, Melanie Krystle, and then LinkedIn. So check me out in those places. Look forward to interacting and hearing from you all.
Oh, thank you so much, Melanie. And I'm humbled that you allowed us and, the presence and to drop a little knowledge on our listeners. So hopefully somebody seeing this be like, you know what, I need to contact Melanie Krystle. That, and her name is spelled exactly like it's on the screen, MelanieKrystle.com. That's MelanieKrystle.com, and reach out to her, let her know, just let her know how you enjoyed the show, or just reach out to her because she has a lot to offer. And once again, when is the next real estate masterclass?
So that'll be on March 31st, Saturday, from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time. So look forward to you signing up, clicking on my links on
and
my
and
my
and what I don't understand, and Melanie say it's gonna be free 99. So the only reason you are not showing up is because you don't want to show up. All right. Where's you gonna get free 99? You know what I
Right.
mean? You're not gonna get free 99 from me, I can tell you that. So you better go over there and get that free 99, okay? I'm just teasing. Melody, once again, thank you for being on the Benny Randall Show, where we believe it's your business to know.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, every week we try to bring you some more powerful and informative information. We want to help inform, enlighten, and inspire you to be better, to do better, and live in your authentic lifestyle. Okay. And freedom is our word of today. Freedom. The freedom to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how much of it you want to do it, right? Because we believe it's your business to know. I'm Bennie Randall Jr., aka The Motivator, and this is the Bennie Randall Show. And you can reach out to me at bennyrandall.com, or you can go over to Vanoy Media, vanoy.com, and check out full episodes of here and YouTube, and as we do the replays. And we thank you so much. And we thank our sponsors for allowing this to happen, because without them, there would be no us. So we thank Vanoy Magazine, as you see behind me, and we thank Bashani Radio. And if you'd like to be part of this sponsor family, reach out to us at bennyrandall.com, and I'm sure we can help you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I love you, and you can't do a damn thing about it.